Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's be real for a second. You know that conversation, the one you've been putting off? Maybe it's with your boss, your partner, a friend. You know it's going to be tough. Well, today, we're going to give you the tools to not just get through those conversations, but to actually turn them into moments of real connection. Oh yeah, we've all been there. You walk away from a chat just replaying every single word in your head, wondering, how did that go so wrong? One minute you're talking about a deadline, the next it's a full-blown argument. It's that awful sinking feeling in your gut when you feel totally misunderstood. We're here to fix that. But what if there's a better way? Seriously, what if you could take those really intense, high-stress moments and flip them into opportunities for understanding? That's what this is all about. This isn't about learning how to win an argument. It's about learning how to speak from the heart with real empathy. So, you ready to change how you talk to people? Here's the game plan. First, we're going to figure out why these conversations crash and burn. Then, we'll build a solid foundation with empathy. After that, I'm going to hand you a toolkit of practical skills you can use, like tomorrow. And then we'll see it all in action, so you know exactly what to do.
Okay, so let's get into it. The secret to having better conversations is actually knowing why they fail in the first place. And to do that, you have to know how to spot the dangerous ones before they get out of hand. Luckily, our source material gives us a great way to think about this.
So, think of what they call a crucial conversation as like a perfect storm. You've got these three things happening all at once. First, the stakes are high. The outcome really matters. Second, opinions are totally different. You are not on the same page. And third, emotions are running wild. It is literally a recipe for disaster unless you know how to handle it.
So how do you navigate that storm? How do you build a bridge when it feels like you're on two different planets? The answer is so simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. Empathy. It is the bedrock of every single good conversation, and it is the best tool you have for turning a fight into a solution.
And look, empathy is so much more than just feeling bad for someone. It's basically a communication superpower. It's an active skill. It's you intentionally trying to step into someone else's shoes to see the world from their point of view, especially when you disagree with them. That's the key.
And when you start with empathy, something amazing happens. It creates this ripple effect. You build trust. You start actually working together instead of against each other. It diffuses tension. You create what's called psychological safety, an environment where people feel safe enough to be honest. For anyone who's a leader, this is a total game changer. Okay, so theory is great, right? But how do we actually do empathy? How do we make it a real skill we can use? Well, that's where our conversation toolkit comes in. I'm about to give you 3 simple but crazy powerful tools that are going to change everything for you. Ready for your new toolkit? Here it is, a 3-step plan. Step 1, create a safe space, a total no-judgment zone where it's okay to be open. Step 2, become a super listener. Don't just hear the words, listen for the emotions behind them. And third, speak your truth, using I statements that build bridges instead of walls. And here's where the magic really happens. This quote says it all. The second someone feels truly, genuinely heard, a switch just flips in their brain. The defensiveness just melts away, the walls come down, and suddenly, you're not in a battle anymore. You're two people trying to solve a problem together. That's the real power of listening. All right, so we've got the theory, we've got the tools. Now it's time for the real test. Let's take this stuff out into the real world and see how it can completely change the game in even the most difficult situations. Let's start with a classic. You never listen to me. That statement is a conversation killer. It just puts the other person on the defensive immediately. But what if we just flipped the script? Instead of attacking them, what if we just shared how we feel? I feel overlooked when my ideas are not acknowledged. Can you feel the difference? One is a brick wall, the other is an open door. And hey, this isn't just for that big meeting at work. This is for talking with your teenager. This is for figuring things out with your partner. These are the skills that build stronger, deeper, more honest connections in every single corner of your life. So we've covered a ton of ground today, from why conversations blow up to how to build your toolkit for success. But if you walk away with just one single thing from all of this, I want it to be this. Empathy isn't weakness. It's not being soft. Empathy is a strategy. It is a conscious choice to take a moment that could be a fight and turn it into a moment of connection. It is the secret to building relationships that aren't just strong, but are also real and resilient. So as you go about your week, I've got a challenge for you. Think about one conversation you could transform, one relationship you want to make stronger,
One chance you have to speak with heart. The power to do it is right there. What are you going to do with it?